Let's talk about the elephant in the room. The lack of jumping. I'd like to apologize since my 15th devlog caused quite a lot of confusion. I realize now that the way I phrase certain things made it seem like I want to add jumping to the game, but I don't have a button for it, which is totally not the case. You see, currently the absence of jumping is essential for me, but it wasn't always this way. 7 months ago, when I created the first prototype, I decided to exclude jumping from it. And the only reason was that I wanted to keep the input scheme simple. Gravity distortion is the main mechanic in this game. First, you connect to an anchor by holding the left mouse button, then you enable AST1 by holding the spacebar. But sometimes you also need to crouch while doing so. Other times you also need to walk. And from time to time you need to do these three things at once. So back then I decided that I didn't want to add another input that the player would have to think about. And that was it. But as the time went by, this inability to jump influenced a lot of other things: the story, the characters, the gameplay, the general narrative that I'm trying to build. And at this point it hasn't rooted itself so deeply into the game that I cannot imagine it being any other way. When I was writing the script for my 15th devlog, I thought it was interesting how something so crucial for the game is a consequence of a really simple decision. When I said I could come up with a profound explanation, I was trying to make a comment on how I could pretend like I've been planning this from the very beginning, which I obviously haven't, but I absolutely failed at delivering this. Sometimes I just try to make things too short. So yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you all for your suggestions as to how to add jumping, although not gonna lie, some of them wouldn't exactly work. Anyway, I don't want you to think that I don't care about your opinions. It's just that the absence of jumping is one of what I profoundly call the 4 principles of Astortion, and for me changing it would be like making a different game. That being said, I'm totally aware of the consequences. I know how important jumping is in conventional platformers. Is this the dumbest decision ever made? Maybe. Maybe. Let's talk about some other things. A lot of you wonderful people, have offered me help with translating the game. I'm extremely flattered and thankful. But it's not the time yet. Once the script is ready to be translated, I'm gonna release a dedicated video asking you for help, and then we're gonna properly organize the whole thing. Quite a few people also wanted to help with music. Here the case is kinda similar. This is my current development plan. As you can see, with piecing the world back together, we've entered the second phase of development. But music is still far away in the third phase. I know it's not a problem, I can work on the game while someone else can work on the soundtrack. The thing is that music in video games is a brand new territory for me, so I'm not sure where I want to go with it just yet. I recently started watching some people analyzing music in games, and once I get some more free time, I'm planning to get back to my favorite games and do some analysis myself. So hopefully when we reach the third phase, I'll have a clear picture of what I want the music to be like, because currently I have no idea. For now, there's still a lot of things to do when it comes to the core of the game, and I need to focus on that. Another question that I got a lot is if I'm planning to make tutorials. There are a few issues here, but the most important one is that I don't have the time. What I need you to know is that I've got a full-time job and I'm also getting a degree, which is the cause for my videos being so infrequent these days. Hopefully it will change soon, but for now it is what it is. For me, Astortion has the highest priority, so there's just no time for anything else. I'm sorry. This video is basically me trying to disappoint you as much as I can. One more thing, I got lots of really cool suggestions from you. I'm reading them and I'm considering them, and we're gonna address them when the time comes. Which is also during the third phase for the most part. Also, I'm aware that visuals are in the third phase, and yet these videos exist. But these are mostly me experimenting with stuff, they are not canon. Most of the visual elements that you've seen so far are just placeholders that I make as I go. In the third phase, we'll properly sit down, think out everything, take care of the art style and the visual integrity and stuff. I'm not saying that we're gonna change everything, I just want you to know that in terms of visuals, everything is a subject to change. Alright, I'm not gonna bore you anymore. Sorry that this video is not a devlog. We'll get back on track next time. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in 2021. Finally.